Hi everyone, and welcome to the channel. In this video, we relivery and weather this Class 31 to be the sort of locomotive that you might find hauling a nuclear flask train in Cumbria. So I've had this Class 31 in the petroleum livery for a few years now, but I've decided to relivery it so it's sort of more prototypical for what you might find hauling nuclear flash trains in Cumbria. As you might see, sort of running past on my Corco layout or stabled at Workington Station on my Saltbeck layout. Um, so the running of nuclear fast trains apparently was the responsibility of the coal sector, as this was the sector that provided the trains to power Britain's power stations at the time, most of which were coal powered. But yeah, underneath that, they also did nuclear fast trains as well. I should probably say it right at the start. So all the products that I've used in this video, I've linked in the description. So before adding the new livery, I first had to remove the old one. And to do this, I used some enamel thinner from Humbrol and a fiberglass pen. I've learnt to my cost that enamel thinner is really good at removing decals from locomotives. When I've forgotten to varnish my locos before weathering them in the past with like an enamel wash. And so what I did was just brush a little thinner onto the logos and then rub over it with a fiberglass pen, and occasionally giving a bit more of a rub with some kitchen rollers to get it off. The Corset decals I find on eBay as my usual go-tos for decals. Fox Transfers and Electra Rail didn't seem to have any, but luckily I found these ones from a manufacturer I haven't come across before, but they were quite reasonably priced. Applying the decals is relatively easy. You just need a bowl of hot water with a tiny bit of washing up liquid added. And if the loco hasn't been varnished before, you need to give the area that you're going to be applying the logo a coat of gloss varnish. But in this case, I assumed that because it already had decals applied before, I didn't need to bother with that. So I dipped the logo sort of briefly into the hot water to loosen it from the card, and then all you do is then sort of gently slide it onto the logo where you want it. In this case, I didn't quite get it where I wanted, so I gently moved it into place using some tweezers. I probably should have applied a bit more water and used that instead of sort of poking it with the tweezers, because there is a risk that it can tear. But in this case, I got lucky. And when that's in place where I wanted it, I just dabbed it with some kitchen roll just to dry it. And then it was a case of doing exactly the same for the smaller logo beside the door. And all that was done was just a case of leaving it to dry before applying a couple of coats of matte varnish just to fix it in place and protect it from the subsequent weathering. For the weathering, as you might have seen in my last Crowroad video, I use a technique that I found on World of Railways YouTube channel. I think they're the guys who own the model centre in Yorkshire. I think it's the same people. And so I based the weathering of the actual loco on a photo of one hauling a nuclear train in Cumbria, and I'll put a link in the description as I haven't got copyright for that. So I've got some Humbrol dark brown wash, which is sort of applied to the side of the engine, just slapping it on, and then remove most of it using some kitchen roll, using kind of downward strokes down the engine, sort of reflect the weathering you might find as the rain falls down, and sort of washes the dirt to the bottom of the engine. And also you got at the bottom of the engine you got the spray from the dirt on the track too. And after that was done, I just dry brushed the chassis of the loco with some rail match rail and sleeper grime acrylic paint. And then it was a case of when that was all dry, added a little coal dust to the roof around the engine exhausts, and that is literally it. So it was, yeah, fairly straightforward. Nothing more to do then than just enjoy running it around. And so hope you've enjoyed this short video on how I did it. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and I'll see you all next time.